Dubai, a city once regarded as the ultimate symbol of wealth and power. Its towering skyscrapers, luxury resorts, and even VIP flights seem to create a world where money could buy everything. But now, that image appears to be tested in ways few could have anticipated. VIP lounges once reserved for the ultra-rich have descended into chaos. Flights that were once fully booked are now gradually emptying, and countless wealthy individuals are reportedly spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes up to $350,000, for just a 4-hour flight, simply to leave the city. This figure, once comparable to the price of a luxury apartment, has now become the price of survival, serving as a stark reminder that when real danger emerges, money no longer guarantees absolute safety. The sight of Dubai, magnificent yet eerily empty, luggage hastily packed, dazzling lights but a cold atmosphere, seems to pose a question for everyone. Can money and comfort really protect us from unexpected risks? When everything starts to shake, it appears that the true values, community, preparation, and robust systems are what maintain lasting safety. Dubai was once built as an untouchable paradise, a place with virtually no taxes, limitless luxury, and money seemingly as the key that could open every door. Extravagant advertisements highlighted 0% personal income tax, no capital gains or inheritance tax, turning the city into a magnet for billionaires and international investors. It seems these incentives, along with flexible legal frameworks, created a sense of absolute financial freedom, making the wealthy feel as though they lived in a limitless world. Yet perhaps it is precisely this dependence on these incentives that made Dubai vulnerable when the global environment began to shift. Dubai's architecture, from the towering Burj Khalifa to the luxurious Burj Al Arab, the iconic Palm Jumeirah, or the opulent Fairmont, the Palm, seems designed to awe rather than to withstand shocks. These glass and steel towers appear as symbols of power and wealth, but also serve as reminders that such fragile beauty is not immune to political, economic, or natural risks. Reports from CNN Travel and BBC News suggest that many of Dubai's high-end real estate projects were built to impress rather than to endure global shocks. Looking deeper into the social structure, the wealth gap in Dubai seems like a sophisticated but fragile arrangement. The wealthy, billionaires, international investors, and entrepreneurs appear fully prioritized for services, security, and real estate rights. They move easily, access medical care and insurance without significant risk. Meanwhile, millions of migrant workers from South and Southeast Asia, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, the Philippines, Indonesia, are the backbone of these extravagant projects. According to the ILO, most of these workers live in concentrated dormitories, work long hours, earn low wages, and have limited legal protections. It seems the wealth of these towers exists because of them. Yet these workers bear high risks and live in dependence, exposing a glaring and painful wealth gap. Dubai before the crisis appeared to be an oasis in the desert, dazzling and magnificent on the outside, yet underneath lay a fragile network that could unravel if capital flows or social trust shifted. It seems that all the luxurious achievements, despite abundant money and power, could still falter in an unexpected situation, a reality that many, and perhaps you as well, who lived through the dot-com bubble or the 2008 financial crisis, would immediately recognize. The sense of absolute safety in Dubai, it seems, was also largely an illusion. Recent assessments from The Economist emphasize that the safety here relies primarily on investor and tourist confidence. When external factors like geopolitical tensions or oil market fluctuations emerge, this seemingly solid protection may be just a mirage. And perhaps the wealthy, accustomed to thinking of money as a shield, are finding that money only guarantees comfort, not absolute protection from global risks. This luxurious yet fragile context, marked by a stark wealth gap and easily shaken trust, sets the stage for a deeper understanding of how Dubai may face Operation Epic Fury and its cascading consequences. It seems that the very opulence everyone admired before is what makes any instability feel even more shocking when real challenges appear. Operation Epic Fury does not seem to be a single event, but rather a chain reaction of military disturbances spanning several months. It appears to have originated from a military response following coordinated attacks by the US and Israel on Iran, leading to Iran's counteractions with numerous ballistic missiles and drones aimed at the Persian Gulf region, with Dubai seemingly caught in the whirlwind, According to compiled reports, Iran may have launched hundreds of missiles and UAVs, forcing the UAE's air defense systems to operate continuously, apparently just to intercept the majority of the threats. This not only created a regional military event, but also indirectly highlighted deep economic and social impacts, pushing nations once considered absolutely safe to face risks right at their borders. On the 28th of February 2026, multiple sources reported that Dubai appeared to endure a rain of metal from missiles and UAVs targeting both military and civilian sites. Although defense systems reportedly intercepted most threats, debris from the intercepted missiles still fell on residential areas and high-end infrastructure, causing some damage to luxury hotels like Burj Al Arab in Fairmont, the Palm. It seems the attacks were not intended to completely destroy the city, but to shake the sense of security that Dubai symbolized, forcing residents and visitors to reconsider the safe paradise status they once trusted. The situation at Terminal 3 of Dubai International Airport also appeared grim. Local sources suggested that debris affected the area, disrupting operations and creating panic among travelers and residents. Although viral videos online may be distorted by AI technology, the nature of operational disruptions and flight adjustments remains clear in both official and unofficial reports. It seems there was no longer an absolute shield to protect amenities once considered stable. The immediate consequences further highlighted the fragility of wealth. With airspace under threat, many airlines reportedly had to cancel or delay tens of thousands of flights in the first few weeks, forcing adjustments in the global transport network. In this context, VIP lounges, once symbols of comfort and priority for the ultra-rich, appeared to turn into survival auctions, where the last seats on expensive private flights were fiercely contested. This image not only reminded the wealthy that money seemed to hold little weight compared to the need for survival, but also reflected an interesting parallel for those who had witnessed asset bubbles or economic crises in the U.S. Things once considered valuable suddenly appeared fragile. It was not just the seats on planes. Luxury possessions seemed meaningless in the panic. Unofficial reports suggested that supercars like Ferraris and Rolls-Royces were abandoned in the desert, and even expensive pets could not be saved. While these details have not been fully confirmed by major media, they appear to reflect an important emotional point. When facing real danger, symbols of wealth weigh far less than safety. From an emotional perspective, the event seems to serve as a reminder that wealth and comfort cannot guarantee absolute protection against physical risks. Perhaps Americans over 55, those who have lived through multiple periods of economic and social instability, would deeply recognize the irony. When confronted with real threats, all the profit numbers, man-made island villas, and million-dollar yachts seem like fragile veneers. Ultimately, faith in what was once considered stable, like Dubai, a commercial hub and symbol of wealth, appeared to be seriously challenged. Images of panic, evacuation, and abandoned material wealth, even if not fully verified, still reflect a strong psychological truth. When faced with danger, wealth seems to lose its weight, giving way to something more important that many Americans over 55 may have experienced before: real stability and safety. When discussing billionaires and the wealthy, Dubai has long been portrayed as the ultimate 0% tax paradise. Personal income, capital gains, and even inherited wealth went untaxed, creating a magnetic pull for capital from the West and Asia. This perception of financial freedom painted Dubai as a city where wealth could grow unimpeded and the super-rich could enjoy lifestyles seemingly untouchable by external pressures. But the reality exposed a more fragile picture. Amid rising geopolitical instability, escalating regional security risks, and the ever-increasing complexity of international tax regulations, the supposed advantage of 0% taxation no longer serves as an impenetrable shield for the wealthy. Mobility to protect assets has become more constrained, turning what was once a tool of freedom into, at times, a luxury shackle, a reminder that wealth, without stability, can feel as limiting as it is liberating. On the market side, Dubai's real estate sector, particularly off-plan projects, faces unprecedented challenges. These developments rely heavily on investor confidence, the belief that property values will rise and that projects will be delivered on schedule. When market sentiment shifts or international instability appears, many of these contracts become fragile. Transactions slow, and even prices in premium areas near landmarks like Burj Khalifa and Palm Jumeirah experience slight declines. Capital outflows add further strain, threatening mega projects that were once symbols of Dubai's ambition. Without sufficient momentum to complete them and attract residents, these iconic developments risk becoming soulless concrete shells, impressive in scale but lacking vitality. In response, Dubai has announced an economic support package of 1 billion dirhams, approximately $272 million, to assist businesses and families navigating the current situation. While this intervention signals recognition that social welfare measures and market stimulus are necessary during economic turbulence, it likely serves only as a temporary patch. The package may not fully counteract the psychological effects of uncertainty or stem the flow of capital moving elsewhere, leaving both investors and everyday citizens to face lingering anxiety. Migrant laborers, who form the backbone of Dubai's construction and service sectors, appear to bear the brunt of these challenges. Many workers from South and Southeast Asia face the risk of losing jobs, unpaid wages, or even illegal confiscation of passports. These circumstances create a stark contrast between those who can easily preserve wealth and those left vulnerable, highlighting the city's glaring socioeconomic divides. While the wealthy can relocate to safeguard assets, the working class often has no such option, making the gap between riches and necessity painfully visible. This pattern, where the retreat of the wealthy leaves the vulnerable exposed, is not unique to Dubai. It echoes scenarios seen during asset bubbles or economic crises in the US, where systemic shocks reveal who truly carries risk. In these moments, faith, stability, and community values often matter far more than temporary profits. They remind us that in a constantly shifting world, only what is sustainable retains trust and social order, and that the sheen of wealth cannot substitute for tangible social structures. The lesson from Dubai extends beyond money or mega projects. It serves as a subtle yet incisive warning. Luxury may attract the eye and signal success, but when capital flows away, it is community, stability, and resilient systems that endure. Glamour alone cannot protect a society. Only the foundations of trust, cohesion, and shared security can withstand the pressures of uncertainty. Dubai, a city once seen as the perfect symbol of wealth and global connectivity, now appears in a completely opposite light. Dubai International Airport, always a bustling hub, now seems to be filled only with hurried crowds fleeing, luggage in hand, while flights gradually become empty. Terminal 3, which was reserved for luxury passengers, seems to be the scene of mild chaos. No direct physical damage, but order and the sense of safety appear to have been tested. This image creates a clear contradiction. An airport designed to welcome millions of travelers has become an escape route, where survival seems to take precedence over all the conveniences it once offered. In magnificent shopping centers like Dubai Mall, once packed with tourists, the scene is now emptily unbelievable. Michelin-starred restaurants, previously a source of pride for fine dining and luxury experiences, are now deserted, chairs and tables left unused, lights still on, but the atmosphere cold and hollow. It seems this scene reflects both the direct impact of the disruption and emphasizes a seemingly obvious point. Money, brands, or reputation cannot protect this place from real threats lurking nearby. Skyscrapers, penthouses, and million-dollar apartments still shine with lights, but their owners seem to have left. The light remains, but real life has departed these spaces. Many luxury properties now appear soulless, a reminder that material value does not equate to human presence or a sense of security. Yachts, supercars, penthouses now face a challenge that money cannot buy: panic and flight. The wealthy seem to realize that money can protect comfort, but cannot safeguard life or a sense of safety. Remaining choices also create a complex emotional picture. Some residents appear to stay, trying to protect their assets, while most choose to retreat. This scene seems to mirror experiences that many Americans over 55 have witnessed. When real disruption occurs, decisions are sometimes not about material value, but about survival and safety. Even unofficial stories about supercars abandoned in the desert, expensive pets left behind, or the last remaining seats on VIP flights create the impression that wealth no longer carries weight in the face of real danger. This profound lesson reminds us that all power, comfort, or status is insufficient to guarantee true safety. Between luxury and threat, what really protects people? This question seems particularly relevant for audiences who have lived through the dot-com bubble or the 2008 financial crisis. When everything shakes, only real values remain. When all material things become fragile, it seems that sustainable values, community, law, social systems, are what help overcome turbulence. Dubai, with all its glitter yet emptiness, seems to remind us that luxury is only a shell. Human presence, preparation, and trust in sustainable systems are what maintain long-term stability. For many years, Dubai seemed the perfect symbol of wealth and endless opportunity. The city built everything on architectural grandeur, ambitious off-plan projects, and firm faith in international capital flows. Skyscrapers, luxury resorts, projects paid for in advance, all created the illusion of a strong and stable economy. But perhaps all that glitter is not sustainable if confidence is shaken. The market, once considered the ultimate investment paradise, with 0% tax, luxury services, and attractive profit prospects, now seems fragile when foreign capital slows, revealing vulnerabilities in the system. When real-world disruptions appear, from geopolitical risks to market shocks, previously abundant capital can withdraw in just days, creating ripple effects not only in real estate but also in tourism and aviation, two critical pillars of Dubai's economy. It seems that if confidence is not quickly restored, all three major engines could simultaneously lose strength, triggering a chain reaction no one wants to witness. This seems to remind us that a growth model relying too heavily on expectations and borrowed capital can quickly crack under real challenges. Dubai is perhaps the clearest example. A city that looks dazzling from the outside, but is easily shaken when confidence falters. As investors and the wealthy begin to withdraw capital, the financial and real estate systems, built on continuous growth expectations, seem to reveal fundamental weaknesses. Luxury and sparkle, while attracting all eyes, cannot protect society as a whole, especially when core elements like security, local labor, and community structure are neglected or undervalued. When tourism slows, airline routes are disrupted, and real estate investment drops sharply, money and luxury assets seem to lose their role as protective shields. For many middle-aged and older adults, this may evoke memories of financial crises in the U.S. From the dot-com bubble to the 2008 crash, when wealth and assets no longer guaranteed absolute security. Perhaps the lesson here is, wealth does not equal freedom or absolute safety, and sometimes difficult choices force the rich to face realities they rarely consider. It seems that trust in a system cannot rely solely on profit and appearances. True values, sustainable communities, transparent legal systems, and solid social structures are what help an economy survive through turbulent times. For American audiences over 55 who have experienced many cycles of financial ups and downs, stability, trust, and transparency may hold greater value than short-term profits or dazzling exteriors. Luxury may attract attention, but sustainable value maintains trust and lasting peace of mind. Dubai, with all its brilliance, seems to remind us that when confidence collapses, what remains are community, systems, and tangible values. Not skyscrapers or supercars left in the desert. Many adults have experienced the feeling of being promised something grand only to realize it was superficial. Dubai, built on outside faith and rapid ambition, appears to be a vivid example of that model, where expectations and reality can ultimately clash, and sustainable values are often forgotten. The story of Dubai may not be one of a city collapsing from a lack of money. It seems more a story of promises broken and trust tested, and perhaps that is the most valuable lesson for all of us in today's world. Should we build our lives on sustainable values, community, and long-term resilience? Or do we continue chasing dazzling illusions that can disappear overnight, leaving only empty towers and hollow symbols of wealth? What is it that truly sustains a society when challenges arrive? If you find these insights thought-provoking and want to explore more hidden patterns behind global financial flows, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next investigations. We would also love to hear your perspective. What do you think lies ahead for Dubai? Leave a comment below and join the conversation. This video is based on aggregated reports, economic data, and analytical assumptions about market volatility in 2026. Any figures, including private jet costs or market trends, are provided for reference to illustrate macro patterns. Nothing here constitutes financial advice, and viewers should make decisions based on diverse sources and personal judgment.